If you film yourself talking to camera, this is the only editing workflow you're gonna need. Talking head videos are the foundation of content creation. Whether you're a coach, a consultant, an educator, or someone who just wants to build their personal brand, this is the format. But here's the problem. Most people either spend 10 hours making one video perfect, or they spend 10 minutes and it just looks way too rushed. I've edited over 100 videos, talking head videos, in the last year, and I've developed a system that gets you professional results without wasting your day. So today I'm gonna walk you through my complete workflow from the moment I import the footage to the moment I export. This is how I edit talking head videos. Let's get into it.
Everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you say.
Okay, before we jump into the workflow, let's talk about why talking head videos are so powerful. This format is everywhere. YouTube tutorials, Instagram Reels, TikToks, LinkedIn. A huge percentage of creator content is someone talking directly to a camera, and there's a reason for that. Talking heads build connection. They're personal, they're authentic, and they're the fastest way to deliver information without overcomplicating this whole production. You don't need multiple cameras. You don't need crazy B-roll. You just need to nail the edit, because a well-edited talking head video will outperform a poorly edited cinematic piece every single time. So let's break down how to edit them properly. All right, so here's what I see most beginners doing wrong when editing talking heads. Mistake number one, they over edit. They add transitions between every sentence, they throw in random zooms, they slap effects on everything because they think more editing equals a better video. But the best talking head videos are invisible. The viewer shouldn't be thinking so much about the edit. They should be thinking about what you're saying. Mistake number two, the under edit. Now this is the opposite problem. They film, they make a few basic cuts and then they export. They leave in the dead air, the awkward pauses, repeated words, and moments where they're clearly thinking about what they're saying. The result, the video feels a bit slow and people might be inclined to click off. So the goal really here is to find balance. Clean, tight, intentional editing that doesn't draw attention to yourself. All right, so here's my workflow. I break every talking head video into 4 phases. Phase 1, organization and color grade. Phase 2, AI assisted cleanup. Phase 3, final edit and polish. And phase 4, audio and export. Each phase has a specific job, and if you follow this order, you'll end up with a clean, professional video without overthinking it. Now let's start from phase 1. Phase 1 for me is all about organization and getting the color right from the start. Most people jump straight into editing, but I don't. I color grade first, and here's why. If I color grade my footage before I edit, then I never have to think about it again. Every clip I bring into Premiere Pro is already graded. Okay, so this is what I do. I import all my raw talking head clips straight into DaVinci Resolve. Usually I have about 9 to 10 clips from a filming session, maybe more. Different takes, different angles. All that raw footage is ungraded. It's S-Log free. So I organize the clips and label them. And I label them in order: hook, main content, and then outro. This keeps everything organized, and I know exactly what each clip is and the order that they're used in. This might seem like a small thing, but when you're juggling multiple takes and angles, this organization saves you from getting lost later, trust me. Step 2, I apply my power grade. Now here's where the magic happens. I have a saved power grade that I use for all my talking head videos. It's simple, natural look with kind of warm tones, balanced skin, slight contrast boost, nothing crazy, just intention. All I do is I just drag and drop it onto the first clip, and look at that. See the difference? Raw footage looks flat, washed out. Graded footage is much more warmer and inviting. Then I just apply the same power grade to all the following 9 to 10 clips. Takes about 30 seconds total. I know, quick. If you want to learn more about my color grading process, I'll actually link the video in the description where I go into more detail. Step 3 is exporting the graded footage, okay? Now I export all these graded clips back out into 4K. And while that's rendering, I can, grab a snack, check my emails or whatever. And that's phase 1 done. All my footage is now color graded, organized, and ready for the next step. And I never have to think about color grading for this video again. Moving on to phase 2. This is where I use AI to help me do some of the heavy lifting. I use a tool called Gling, okay? And it's a game changer for talking head videos. Here's what it does. It automatically detects and removes all the bad takes, the long pauses, the dead space, the ums, the ahs, the monotonous stuff that takes you ages to do yourself. Basically, all the stuff I would spend an hour or more manually cutting out, Gling does it in about 2 minutes flat. So I upload all my color grade footage into Gling. It will analyze the audio, identifies where I make my mistakes, where the awkward pauses are, where I repeat myself, and then it gives me a timeline with all those sections automatically cut out. Look, here's a real clip and a moment where I restart a sentence. Point number 3, master the outline. Point number 3, point number 3. Now, here's that same clip after Gling. Point number 3, master the eyeline. This sounds small, but it's actually huge. It's tight, it's clean, all the dead air is gone. Now, Gling isn't perfect, okay? Sometimes it cuts out things I actually wanted to keep, or it misses something I want to remove, but I can always review and adjust everything inside Gling before I export. So I'll quickly just scan through afterwards, make sure it didn't cut anything important, and adjust it if needed. This literally takes about 10 minutes. Way faster than doing it all manually. And once I'm happy with it, I export the cleaned up timeline from Gling. And this can go straight into Premiere Pro, which is what I do. It creates an XML file that opens right in Premiere with all the cuts already done. That's phase 2. My footage is now graded and cleaned up. All the bad takes are gone, all the pauses are tightened. Now I can focus on the actual creative part. I'm not sponsored by Gling, by the way, but if you want to give it a try for free, I've linked it in the description for you to check it out. All right, now we're moving into phase 3, okay? All the structural work is done. And now we're just gonna add in elements that make it feel polished and professional. And step 1 of that is B-roll. If I'm explaining something technical or referencing something visual, this is where I add in B-roll. For talking head videos, B-roll should be short, relevant, and minimal. Just don't overdo it. A quick cutaway to support the point, then right back to me. I'm not filling the entire video with B-roll, just strategic moments where a visual example really helps. Step 2, adding in my text overlays. Look, I'm not adding text to every sentence, just key moments or points where visual reinforcement helps retain the information. Simple, clean, on brand, not distracting. They usually stay on screen for about 3 to 5 seconds and then fade out. And step 3, adding in subtle zooms or reframes, okay? Now this step is optional, but I'll occasionally add a slow zoom or a quick punch in to emphasize a moment or just break up the visual monotony. And the key word here is subtle. You shouldn't consciously notice it every second. It just keeps the frame from feeling static for over 10 minutes straight. With the zooms, there's just a bit more visual interest going on. Without it, it's still fine, just slightly more static. Step 4, my intro and outro. Now for me, my intro is basically this sequence here.
Know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you say.
After my initial opening. Now if you're gonna have one, make sure you keep it short. People don't need a 30-second intro. They want to get into the content. And then the outro is just, you know, your typical subscribe reminder, suggested video, my signature sign off, and I'll see you, and I'll see you, you know the one. That's phase 3. The video is now all polished. B-roll where it matters, text overlays on key points, intro and outro locked in. But we're not done yet, okay? We still need to handle the audio. We have arrived at phase 4. Now, this is the final step, okay? And we're gonna start with normalizing our audio levels. Look, I make sure that my voice is sitting around -12 to -6 decibels throughout the video, just to maintain consistent volume. Now, if there are any loud spikes or unusually quiet sections, I run it through Premiere Pro's audio enhancer just to balance everything out. This prevents the viewer from constantly adjusting their volume. Step 2, remove background noise. If there's any humming or hissing or room tone I want to clean up, the audio enhancer also helps to take care of that and enhance the clarity of your voice in the process. Don't use it too aggressively though. Just enough to make it sound clean without making your voice sound robotic. Step 3, adding in my music. For most of my videos, I'll add some subtle background music. Very low in the mix, just texture, not distraction. I have distracted before, my bad. If I do this, I make sure that it fades in and out smoothly and doesn't really compete with my voice. As I said, I've made that mistake before. Y'all have reminded me. It's not needed, but I feel like it adds a little something to the production quality. It's the little things, you know? Now, step 4 in phase 4 is the export. And these are my settings. I'm gonna slap them up on the screen for you right now. That's it. The video is done. That's the process. That's how I edit every single talking head video. All right, so let's recap here. Okay, we have 4 phases. Phase 1, organization and color grading. Phase 2, AI assisted cleanup. Phase 3, final edit and polish. And then phase 4, audio and export. Look, this is what the final result looks like. Clean, tight, professional. And here's the thing. This workflow works whether you're editing a 60-second reel or a 20-minute YouTube video. The principles are the same. Color grade first, clean up the structure, polish, edit, finish audio. If you're editing talking head videos and you're not following some kind of system, you're either wasting your time or leaving a lot of quality on the table. Master this workflow or create your own version and you've mastered 80% of content creating. Now, if you're struggling with the step that's before editing, like planning what to say, scripting it out, or just staying organized in general, I built something for you. It's called the Creators Command Center. It's a Notion template that takes you from idea to finished script without the chaos. When you have clarity on what you're filming, the editing process becomes way easier. Now, if you want it, link is in the description as always. That's it. That's the workflow. That's how I edit my talking head videos. Organization and color, AI cleanup, final edit and polish, audio and export. Look, 4 phases every single time. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as we continue to grow this channel. Now, you have a system to edit, and I'll see you. I will see you in the next one. Peace and love every single time. Thanks.